Midnight Mushers is made possible by viewers like you, with additional grants from Marquette's daily newspaper, The Mining Journal, serving the Lake Superior region since 1846, and from National Dog Food, specializing in animal nutrition for 40 years.
I think mushers are hardworking, romantic, idealists possibly.
It wasn't like one day I decided I could afford it. It was just like one day I decided I'd do it anyway.
Go to the front and improve your position. I keep equating it to rabbit hounds chasing rabbits. They just love to pull that sled. They're the happiest when they're out there doing their thing.
I'll be following the leader, and nobody's going to slow down for anybody.
There are a handful of great races, and our goal is to make this one of them.
Man and dog have always shared a bond. Now that partnership is tested as dogs and drivers from the United States and Canada dare a 240-mile race through the forests and across the frozen waters of Michigan's Upper Peninsula. This is the story of the Midnight Mushers. Marquette, the largest city in the Upper Peninsula, the UP, first hosted a sled dog race in 1883. Early film shows the enthusiasm lasted for decades, but it would take a man from Alaska to really bring it back.
I've been running dogs for about 12 years. I ran dogs in some of the Alaskan Native villages out near the Bering Sea. When we moved here about a year and a half or so ago, we brought our dogs here explicitly because of the snow conditions.
But that wasn't the only resource to impress Jeffrey Mann. The open terrain made mushing here a natural.
There are lots of stretches of trail where you can run for 40, 50, 60 miles and never cross a road, never run into a community, and that's a lot of fun for mushers. We were surprised to find that mushing was not something well-known or widespread in the area, and felt that while we were here, there were some other people interested in getting a race off the ground, and we could devote some of our energy to getting that started.
So the word went out. On race day, hundreds of spectators lined the streets to see the start of the first UP200 Sled Dog Championship. Every 2 minutes, a team leaves. A handler rides along to guide the team out of town. After that, it's just a driver and his 10 dogs. For the next 3 days, they will travel a loop from the shores of Lake Superior to the frozen waters of Lake Michigan and back, a distance equal to the miles between Chicago and Detroit.
Good girl, Tupelakis. Yeah, she's a good girl. She's a real good dog. Okay, that's good dogs. Good boy.
Look
good boy,
how cool
Sandy.
and calm this guy is.
Everybody look.
What do you think's going on inside?
I got bleeding ulcers.
He says bleeding ulcers.
Ian McKenzie jokes, but he's no amateur with a makeshift sled pulled by house pets. In fact, he's one of 3 drivers entered who've raced 1,100 miles in the Alaskan Iditarod, the granddaddy of sled dog races.
Okay, let's go. Okay. Okay. All right, thank
you. 80% of this race is run at night, and along with blowing snow and single-digit temperatures, the dogs love it. The only distraction is the scent of other wildlife on the trail, which spurs these 35 to 60-pound Alaskan and Siberian Huskies to run even faster. Mushers, too. By day, they are emergency room physicians, teachers, or woodsmen, like Lloyd Gilbertson of Schroeder, Minnesota. At night, they thrive on the solitude of the dark.
After 11 years like I've been doing, that's the only time you have to train a lot of times. So you do probably 80% of that there. And once you own a good headlamp, there is no night anymore.
4 checkpoints break the 240-mile course into 5 legs. Even in deep snow, the fresh dogs will average 10 miles per hour over the 38 miles from Marquette to the village of Chatham. At 10:37, Clay Rumpf of Watersmeet, Michigan, is the first to arrive. Despite blizzard conditions and the late hour, hundreds welcome him. His sled is quickly inspected for the required survival gear, a first aid kit, knife, axe, sleeping bag, snowshoes, as well as food, water, and protective booties for the dogs in case their paws are cut by ice and snow. The fitness level and life expectancy of these dogs is greater than the average house pet. Veterinarians check their condition before and during the event. If a dog appears stressed or injured, vets have the authority to pull it from the race. Top priority is always the dog.
We don't allow any painkillers, anti-inflammatories, or anything that can mask a condition in the dog. You have to be sure what you're doing because you don't want to hold them up. This is a race. But again, the primary concern of the mushers and everybody concerned with the race is the health of the animals.
For handlers, it's a scramble to feed the team. The best sled dogs eat heartily. To entice the younger ones, a stew of processed food and water is flavored with liver, chicken, beaver, or fish. Diet, like breeding and training, is fundamental. A sled costs $650. The care and feeding of a kennel costs thousands.
We've got lots of farmers around us that contribute dead horses and cows and other things that happen to drop dead anywhere in a 50-mile radius. And we are very happy to make animal feed out of. And you lose it, we'll get it. Maybe we were all dropped when we were kids in our heads or something, because most of them, you know, it's futile. We're never going to make any money at it. And you scrimp and save, and you feed your dogs better than you feed your own kids.
For all the investment and sacrifice, nothing about sled dog racing is predictable.
We came down the hill out of Marquette, and the dogs, instead of going to the left, went to the right, so I put the hook down to stop them. And I saw a grate there, and I thought I lifted it up in time, but I didn't. And they were pulling so hard, they just ripped the hook right in half. That's heavy-duty steel. So I've never seen this happen to a snow hook in my life. I ended up on a person's porch. That was fun.
I believe it.
I wonder if they know what was going on, because the dogs just took a left and walked right onto their porch. And I thought, wow, there must be some reason this is happening. I'm going to hang it up. It's enough. I've had fun, so I'll quit while I'm behind.
Nothing surprises you out here. Tough trail, and snow conditions are, different than what we were looking at 24 hours ago. Tommy's got an incredibly fast team, but you got 240 miles to go. So either he was going a little too fast to start and got here and realized he still got 210 miles. I don't know, maybe he was having dog trouble. That's just part of the game. There's a little more money for the folks that finish.
Get him, Jeff.
How many of you folks in Chatham think the race ought to come through here again next year?
By midnight, the 12 remaining mushers head south. With one leg behind them, it's time to review strategy.
This is fun, and I think the strategy of how to run this race is something that I can see it in all the other mushers' faces, what they're saying, oh, what do I do? And they come and they say to you, are you going to rest in Chatham, or are you going to stop along the way, or what are you going to do? You never know. And mushers can lie. They tell you great fantasies. Like, what are you going to do? Tell them the opposite. Because it's all, because, you know, you're all friends and you have drink beer together and all that, but it's still a race. And what I want to do is take my 10 dogs and go faster than anybody else's. And the strategy's part of it.
At dawn, the first teams reach the second checkpoint, Rapid River. The narrow rolling hills of an old Indian trail are over, and so is another 62 miles. Ahead is the third checkpoint, Escanaba. To get there, they must cross 15 miles of Lake Michigan's vast frozen Little Badenoch. Mushers have tremendous focus, but after 14 hours standing the rails, they need to turn the team over to a handler.
Lots of times the drivers, they don't get as much sleep as we do, and so their heads aren't real clear. And so lots of times the handlers can think of things that they don't think of. He's like the race car driver and I'm the mechanic.
Many times that synergy is born with friends, but often, as with Carl and Ian McKenzie or Tom Bauer of Toivola, Michigan, it's family.
If your family doesn't do it with you, you end up by necessity spending a lot of time away from your family, which can be hard. And it really helps when especially your mate and your kids go out with you and help and feed and water the dogs and scoop up the dog poop and go out on runs with you. And it's a real charge when my little 3-year-old daughter says, "Dad, I'm going to ride on the rails." That's a lot of fun.
Wonder how this guy's going to take till the jet lag next week.
Dogs are not machines. Throughout the night, mushers stop them regularly for a 2 to 5 minute break. But to endure the next 130 miles, they, like the drivers, need a long rest. Now in Escanaba, they will get a good day's sleep.
The UP200 racers will be taking off this evening at 7 o'clock.
Please clear the starting area. We have another dog team coming right behind them. Everybody step away the gangway.
After a 10-hour layover, the mushers are back, recharged to head out on the bay, and then wind 62 miles up the Ford River. It will be 107 miles before they see daylight or handlers at the last checkpoint in Gwin. Sleds are weighted with the team's extra food and water. Mushers worry. If a dog's feet or joints become too sore to last, they will also have to be carried. These elements make this leg as challenging as any stage of the Iditarod.
If you go into the race with a plan and you stick to it, you can do it. If you think, wow, it's 107 miles, how can I do this? You're probably in trouble. But if you say, okay, I'm going to run an hour and rest 5 minutes, run an hour, rest 5 minutes, run an hour and rest 1 or 2 hours, and you just keep knocking off those little chunks and you do everything right hour by hour, it's no problem.
Thank you very much. Have a nice evening.
It is also on midnight runs that a musher best knows himself and his dogs.
It is a major joy to train a dog and see that dog devote 100% of its energy, its life focus towards going forward fast in harness. They just feel like spirit partners in the sense that when we go out on the trail, there's a great mental connection, spiritual connection between myself and them. And when we run 100 miles or 140 miles or whatever the distance may be, and we're able to go around or through every obstacle we encounter, it's just a wonderful sense of partnership.
Go ahead.
John Patton's goal is to catch Lloyd Gilbertson.
Come on, Jeep. Jeep.
Good dog.
At the riverbank, he pulls ahead. Just minutes behind is Bob Bright. Together, this trio in their 40s and 50s show that to compete, you only need to be young in spirit.
How far ahead are they? John Penn, Grand Prairie, Minnesota.
At daybreak, Patton arrives in Gwynn, where houses replace hills. Though he has an 11-minute lead, there is no time to rest. Some dogs won't eat, so they are hand-fed. Their feet need salve and booties.
If I didn't admit that we were a little weary, there'd be something wrong. I mean, I wouldn't be honest. But we're all right.
In 25 minutes, he's back on the trail. With Marquette only 29 miles away, he trades his mucklucks for running shoes.
I'm told the biggest hills in town, the biggest hills in the whole course are between here and town. And these dogs aren't going to pull me up. I'll pull myself up.
Making up time, Gilbertson leaves 3 minutes later, passing Bright. But his dogs are tired from pulling his 6'5", 220-pound frame. Bright knows if he wastes no time, he can catch up. Even through the eyes of a child, the drama is too good to miss.
Back. Attaboy. Let's go home.
The home stretch covers the steepest hills on the course. The obstacles force a musher to run, pedal, push, and pray that he or his dogs don't give up before the finish.
You feel better for the dogs in the accomplishment than you do for yourself, you know. But that's the hook in this sport. It's not the dog mushers and it's not the environment so much, it's the dogs. Absolutely the best athletes I've ever seen. They will go, there's no athlete you can see that run 100 miles a day for day after day after day, and they do it because you ask them to.
Shortly after noon, John Patton crests the hill into downtown Marquette. 40 hours, 58 minutes after starting this incredible journey.
For this type of race, a middle distance race, it can't be better in the lower 48 at least, I'll tell you. You folks have a real gem of a race here, and I hope you all know it, and I hope you hang on to it and just keep building.
The UP200 is over. Patton and his dogs are tired, but not finished. Within 48 hours, he will repack and, refueled with $2,700 in prize money, head for the Iditarod. Then it's on to a 3-week expedition across the Soviet Union. But he will be back to defend his title because the competition is never far behind.
Midnight Mushers is made possible by viewers like you. With additional grants From Marquette's daily newspaper, the Mining Journal, serving the Lake Superior region since 1846. And from National Dog Food, specializing in animal nutrition for 40 years.